If you feel like your landing page isn't converting, try this 4-step process I use that takes cold viewers and turns them into booked sales appointments every single week. And most business owners in St. Louis, they know what a landing page is, but they don't really know why they're not converting. So they spend all this time, they tweak the copy, they tweak the headlines, they make videos to live on the page. It's like no matter what they do, nobody wants to book a dang call with them. So here's our 4-step process that we use to take cold viewers and convert them into booked sales calls. But before we jump into this specifically, I really want to stress that we need to understand friction and why friction is so vital to this system. So let's go to the next page. We'll see if it'll let me draw. It's been fighting me all day, but I'm going to draw a big pyramid here, and it wants to fight me. And I'm going to draw an arrow here. Now, what I'm looking at with this arrow is that this is friction. And if you want to know what friction is, it's simply a whole bit more and more hoops that people have to jump through to have their solution solved with you. So an example of friction might be answering more questions on a survey. Maybe it's answering a survey at all. It could be clicking on a whole bunch of buttons or having to navigate through a website. All of the points where it's like, it's another step in this process that I have to do before I can get what I want. That's friction. If we have the least amount of friction, we will have the most volume of leads. Now, it's important to understand it's the most volume of leads. Without that friction, we're not qualifying them in any way or very little. So they might not be the most qualified when they show up to a sales call. Just want to make that clear. Now, for a lot of businesses in St. Louis, I'm just writing out volume and then less volume at the top. For a lot of businesses in St. Louis, they feel like they need to qualify people so much up here, where if you look, the pyramid's smaller. There are less and less people that fit your ideal client. That's just a fact. Sometimes it's going to take a while because you have so much friction. Your qualified buyer might just bail out because they don't want to jump through all those hoops to get what they want. On the other end, with more volume, there are a lot of people who can come in, they're like tire kickers, or they're just there to get some info. That's part of it. You're going to have to find the sweet spot for you and your business. But a lot of business in St. Louis probably should be in this most volume to volume. Okay, understanding friction now. How do we take that and apply it to making an actual sale? We need to get some sales calls, okay? If it'll let me, I'm trying my darndest. There we go. Step 1 in this 4-step process is an ad that's native to the platform. So we want something that looks like your mom or your friend would post, because you're going to stop. Naturally, when you see something that looks exactly like an ad, there's like a subconscious thing that's like, gone, swipe, I'm not watching an ad. So we try and make ads that are more native to the platform. Within those ads, say, hey, if you're interested, why don't you hit learn more and you'll find out more. Okay, that's a very small step. That is some friction, but it's not a whole lot. We're trying to ride this line of not a whole lot of friction. When they hit learn more, they're taken to what's called a meta instant form. Now, it fills up, it's a questionnaire. That is, they have to put a name, they have to put either an email or a phone number. That's the bare minimum that they have to fill out. But it's native, it's on the app. Facebook sometimes even fills it out for the person filling it out. So there's so little resistance within this form. Now you can add a little bit. Maybe it's a qualification of, do you live in St. Louis? How long have you been in business? Do you need XYZ? Very things that I try and stay away from money and financial questions, because that's a lot of resistance. People are like, I don't want to fill that out. I'm not comfortable filling that out. When people finish this instant form, they'll be directed to your landing page, that whole thing you're talking about. People aren't converting. Okay. You get to the landing page, there's a little bit of a sunk cost fallacy. People have filled out the form, they click learn more, and now they're on the landing page. Maybe they'll fill it out. Now, if you're the best marketer in the world, you're still not having 100% calendar booking rate. 100% of the people who get to that landing page are not going to book a time in your calendar. That's just a fact. Let's say 20 to 40%. Let's keep it broad. Say 20 to 40% actually book a calendar. What's cool is that with that instant form, I'm going to try and draw again. We'll see if it lets me. They fill out the instant form. They go to the landing page. If they don't book a time in the calendar, you have their contact information from that instant form. And how do we say, okay, what can we do from there? I'm going to try my best to draw a phone. You can call them. They agreed in this instant form that you can reach out to them. They tick a box. So just call them, text them, say, hey, I saw that you filled out the form. You didn't book a time. Did you find what you're looking for? That's pretty low resistance. From there, you can just manually book them into your calendar. That's a calendar. And you got a sales appointment. That's crazy, right? It's not as difficult as you might think. And it works because a lot of people are relying on this landing page to convert then and there. But that's a major friction point. So we have the contact information from a native qualifying instant form on Facebook or Instagram. There's much less friction, and all of a sudden you're getting more calls. So if you want the training that shows you step by step how to set this up yourself, let me know. I'll send it to you for free. There's no email required.